Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli, and as we continue Autism Awareness Month, there are movers and shakers with the diagnoses that are going out and doing something, just like this man. Marcus Boyd, I have been so honored to sit with you today. 7-time award-winning autism activist. How are you today? Hi, Marcus.
How you doing? Thank you for letting me be on your amazing major platform.
You know, Marcus, you really are making a difference, and the best is your story, and I want everyone to hear your story. Please, care to share?
Sure. I have autism. I got diagnosed April 12th, 1993. I was 10 years old at Clifton Springs Mental Health Center in Decatur, Georgia, by Dr. King. My therapist was named Berta Looper. My speech therapist was named Anna Gibbs. Her daughter was named Kimberly Gibbs. That was my peer speech therapist. Bob Ortner was my behavior aide. Dorothy Carr was my social worker. I mean, I can just go on. But, you know, I was nonverbal until I was almost 13 and a half. I started speaking at a 3-year-old's level. I didn't start speaking like this until I was almost 18. I got off medication when I was 24. And, you know, from being in 17 different foster homes, 16 group homes, 4 emergency children's shelters, 4 inpatient centers, 16 mental institutions. You know, I was abused. Electrical shock therapy, psychotic medications. I was bullied. So it's a lot.
So let's go back to when you were young. You were living in a home. Mom and dad were there, right? Or was it a broken home?
It was it was broken. My parents got 22 kids. So, so you know.
Did they know something was wrong with you and try to get you help early?
We talking about the early 80s.
Yeah, okay, when autism wasn't as prevalent.
I mean, not saying it didn't exist, it did. But the thing is, it wasn't really group talked about. It wasn't really shared upon. It wasn't like my neighbor child got autism, so let's have a conversation with my neighbor. It wasn't
right.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't pamphlets or brochures being passed out. So my parents thought that, you know, I wasn't their child. At least my biological father did. He thought my birth mother cheated on him with somebody that was like me.
And he abused you, didn't he?
Very badly, very horrifically. Yes, ma'am.
Are you still in therapy today, Marcus, with that, having to deal with the PTSD from that?
No, ma'am. Praise God. Jesus is my therapy. God is my therapy.
Woo! Amen.
Amen.
And now your mom took you to the doctor, and they said that you know, were different and that you were on the spectrum. And then what happened after that?
No, ma'am. My grandmother took me to the doctor because before that, after my dad broke my ribs and, you know, put the gun in my mouth and was trying to shoot me, but the gun jammed and stuff like that, and I was 4, my mom dropped all her kids off at my grandma's house. Said she was going to go down the street with my dad to go get a loaf of bread. And I'm 40. I'm still waiting for them to return. So,
my gosh.
So they didn't raise us. They dropped us off.
What a story to tell at such a young age and being neurodiverse. Look at how far that you've come, though, Marcus. Stay with me because I want to know everything in between and how you got here today.
Hi, I'm Lear Gilmars. Thanks to our friends at
Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. With me today, Marcus Boyd, 7-time award-winning autism activist. You have been on every platform, Marcus. You're speaking your truth. You're speaking your story. And, you know, having a later-in-life diagnosis, and you mentioned that you were nonverbal, right? Until what age?
Yes, ma'am. I was nonverbal from birth until almost 14 years old.
And what do you remember your first words?
Not really. Let my sisters tell it because, you know, they was very instrumental in helping me have a voice. But let them tell it. I asked for a cheeseburger, but I'm
cheeseburger, I love it. Now, you said you were in and out of foster care and in and out of different therapies and state-run facilities. Did you ever find somebody that you were drawn to there that could help you in different ways than maybe the people that you had met in your past?
I think each facility, each place has an angel, has somebody that's going to be there that's going to help you along your way. We call them silent heroes. So in each place, there was a hero there to be able to help me. Do I remember names? Unfortunately, I don't remember everybody's name that was sent to help me, but I do thank them.
Yeah. And do you think, with race and going into underserved communities, do you believe that that's still happening in 2023, that children, Hispanic, Black, Indian, are not being diagnosed properly at the right age, and then that can lead to an onset of problems because you aren't given early intervention?
Yes. I still think we have a problem with that. And I still think that, in our community, in my community, that in the African American community, we stand to God first before medications or treatments or anything else. At least for me, I know my grandma used to say I have a demon, so I was at every altar call. You understand what I'm saying? So holy oil was placed on me and every baptism was given to me. So, I mean, in our community, we believe in putting God first and letting him sort it out versus doctors or medical professionals or those type of individuals.
Yeah. What do you do as far as activism today and getting you to this point? You're now 40 years old. You are eloquent and well-spoken for having to be nonverbal till you're almost 14 years old. You'd never know it. What kinds of things are you doing, Marcus, to make a difference in the world of autism?
Well, I speak at different governors' meetings, different senators, Democrats meetings, and school board superintendent meetings. And I help with laws and rights and benefits and programs state by state to be able to have a better generation for the next generation. And I help, facilitate new laws and rights for other countries, not just in United States, because autism is worldwide, not just statewide.
That's true. And I know a lot of other countries don't get near as many benefits as we give to our children and young adults here in America. So it's nice to know that you're branching out of the United States and really trying to make a difference across the world. Marcus, what would be your biggest takeaway? What do you want people to know? Share with me what kind of movers and shakers you're working with now.
For different governors, like the governor of New York, the governor of Los Angeles, the governor in Georgia, the governor in Mississippi, Are
we seeing real change coming out of those meetings that you're having with them?
You're seeing progress, but you're not seeing instant change.
Yeah, sure.
But, as long as God gives me a mouth and breath, they're going to continue to see my face and hear my voice until real change is given.
Yeah, you have a lot of time to make up for it, like 14 years. And then when it comes to underserved communities, do you also try to go and do some activism in there too? Being an African American, do you try to reach out to local organizations, groups, nonprofits that are kind of serving those communities, or hooking up with doctors that go in there specifically with their foundations and making a difference?
I have no choice but to. Where I'm at and in other states and stuff like that, nonprofit organizations, religious organizations, local doctors, statewide doctors and stuff of that nature. It takes a village. It's not just me. It's not just them. It's all of us. So all of our stories deserve to be heard. All of our voices deserve to be heard. And anybody in the autism world, they deserve to be heard. So we have to make a push for them.
Marcus, where do you think we go from here in the world of autism?
Better therapy, better situations with Medicaid for families, more support for families who sacrifice their last little bit of money to help their children or their teenagers, more inclusive programs, more yes, ma'am, more sensory standard activities for kids who have sensory issues. More facilities and more bigger, larger companies embracing autism, not just on April or not just in May because that's Mental Health Month. Embracing autism as a whole and as a community. Showing more love and acceptance for autism, giving opportunities and jobs and commercials and acting and different things of that nature, and allowing us to show our gifts and talents.
I love that, because last month we heard that 1 in 36 children now are diagnosed on the spectrum, and the spectrum is a large umbrella of neurodiversity. And you, Marcus, are a force to be reckoned with, a force for good, going out there with the diagnosis yourself and making waves and changes and progress. And even if it's baby steps, you're doing so good. Thank you so much, Marcus, for being on the show.
Well, thank you so much for letting me have a voice on your amazing major platform.
And really quick, how can people find you?
They can go on social media, Instagram at Autism Activist Marcus Boyd, Marcus L. Boyd, or Marcus Boyd on Facebook.
Awesome. Marcus, we're going to check you out and get you a whole lot of followers, because it sounds to me like you are a man worth following. Thank you so much, Marcus.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you as well.
What an inspiration Marcus Boyd is. Make sure you follow him on socials at Marcus Boyd, and be on the lookout. He's going to be on the cover of September's issue of Afro-Autism, a great publication that comes out of Zimbabwe, Africa. You can both get it digitally and in print. You just might have to wait a little bit for the mailing. You know, it got me thinking, where do we go from here? There's a lot of Black and brown communities that are unserved and underserved. And my partner in crime, Claire Dees, the one that I run Table Talk with, she's over at the Spectrum Autism Support Group in Gwinnett County, and she started a great program called Mocha Matters. With me today, co-facilitator of Mocha Matters, Amber Driessen. How you doing, Amber?
Hi there, Gina. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on today.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. You know, Atlanta is a metropolis, and it's finally time we get with the 21st century and create a special group like this called Mocha Matters. Can you tell everybody what Mocha Matters is, what it stands for?
Well, Mocha Matters was something that Claire came to me with. She had this idea that she really wanted to focus on topics addressing families raising children with autism, primarily Black and brown families. She was explaining to me that she has, over the past few years, and really since COVID began, she's had an influx of a lot of Black children coming, or Black families rather, that are coming to her to be serviced or served within the autism community. And so what I am finding out, I'm meeting more and more moms who are whose kids are just newly diagnosed, and they have really no resources. But when you think about the Black and brown communities, the Hispanic families that I have met and have crossed paths with, a lot of them don't know where to turn to for resources. So Mocha Matters was the idea we came up with and the title of the group. And we have had, we've done a few sessions thus far that have gone over well.
And what I would think in the Hispanic community is that there's that language barrier that can further derail treatment or services. I mean, right?
Absolutely. A lot of the Hispanic families are running into that problem where the child may understand some English or even have some English language, and the parents don't speak any English. And so it's funny that Evan's teacher, my son's teacher, actually, when I was telling her about what we were doing with Spectrum, she came back to me immediately and she said, "Hey, I have a family that desperately needs to engage and connect with you all on the episodes and topics that you'll be discussing." So by all means, a lot of them are starting to kind of tune in, and because they are dealing with that issue, they are running into that problem.
Sitting with me today, Amber Driessen, the co-facilitator of Mocha Matters. Amber, can you tell me what kinds of topics do you bring up at Mocha Matters? Is it resources and tools, or is it real livable type situations like maybe dealing with the police or whatnot?
Well, ironically, we just the last month's topic, or actually, it was this month's topic. No, it was I'm sorry, it was for May. We did have a topic on water safety, which all of our kids, we're worried about making sure they know how to swim, but especially for children with autism, it is really a must, and it's mandatory that they know how to swim, because many of our kiddos with the autism diagnosis, they gravitate to water, and many of them are looking to seek they're sensory seeking. So they are looking for that sensory sensation of how the water feels, but many of them don't know how to swim. And what we're also finding is many children in the Black community, period, don't know how to swim, including adults. So it was very ironic when we did that topic last month. We even had some adult moms, some of the moms actually say, hey, we're interested in learning how to swim just in case our kids get into a situation where we may have to jump in the water to either rescue them or just knowing how to swim. So it's really ironic. That topic we had a lot of moms on, and it opened their eyes to understanding that this is really something that's sensitive with the Black community per se, because um, all of our kids need to know how to swim. And a lot of them, like I said, do not. Another big topic that we had was when we had the Gwinnett County police officers on. That was a really big group that came on. They were very interested in talking with them about how our kids will interact with the police if ever there was a situation, and if the police officers are trained to deal with our community and our young people, especially the ones that are driving. And we actually set up after that call. It was so successful that we're planning a part two with the Gwinnett County Police Department because a lot of moms couldn't be on. But we even were able to set up a roll call where we were able to go meet with them face to face, bring our kids so they can meet. And that went over very, very well. So we're seeing that these ideas and topics are actually spinning off into other things because the police department wants to work one-on-one with us and understanding that each child with autism looks different. And we need to know this.
In certain areas and communities, police officers are being hired that are trained to deal with specific mental health issues and different challenges and abilities and disabilities for that matter, too. And so it's nice to know that they could be called out in certain situations, especially with our kids on the spectrum. Although it goes to, one step further. I heard someplace that, when kids on the spectrum get their driver's license, they could get a special sticker here in Georgia. You would think that they could tie that to the registration. For instance, like I'm filling out the application to get a driver's license and I'm on the spectrum, so I could put on there. And then the minute that police officer pulls up my license plate, they would know, right? It just kind of makes sense. So I don't know where we go from here. Maybe I should probably go to the Department of Transportation and start lobbying for that if it's not already in place. I have a couple more years to go with Lyric. But can you tell me, Amber, what are some things in the future that Mocha Matters will be discussing?
Well, we've had a behavioral therapist come on and speak with the group. For this month, we are bringing on a pediatric psychologist to talk about anxiety issues, and we've got a few other good topics lined up regarding funding. A lot of our families don't know that there are opportunities for them to get funding through these nonprofit organizations to fund various things that they may want their children to do, including swimming, horseback riding, taekwondo,
summer camps.
Absolutely, summer camps. So I'm excited about that topic in particular with our nonprofit organizations, because they're going to be able to come on and explain in detail what documents they need and how it will benefit their families even down the road when it comes to funding, when it comes to Medicaid, and when it comes to the waivers and those things. So I think as we continue to move forward with Claire on this, we're excited about it. It's doing really well, but she is lining up a lot of great speakers for us to bring on to talk to our Black and brown families.
Yeah, Claire and I, we go way back. She's my
awesome.
Partner in crime for sure. Hey, Amber, tell me where people can find Mocha Matters here in Atlanta.
Well, actually, if you go on Spectrum's website, and I do believe it's www.atl-spectrum.com. You will see on there on the where she has listed the events. You'll see Mocha Matters, and you just you can register there. And she has not put a list of the topics that we'll be speaking about, but every month that's the best way to register to get on one of our sessions.
Well, I just love what Mocha Matters is doing for the community. And if you don't already know about it, now you know about it and you can join Mocha Matters. So hop on atl-spectrum.com. Thank you so much, Amber, for being with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.
With lots of different programs going on, make sure you are checking out atl-spectrum.com because, there are unserved and underserved communities, not just here in Atlanta, but across the country. And starting groups like Mocha Matters, connecting people with resources and tools that maybe they otherwise wouldn't know is the right thing to do. So I'm glad that we're doing it here in the ATL. Maybe I should get Claire Dees back on the show. What you think? Thank you so much for taking time to come into Life with the Spectrum as we continue to live this crazy journey called life. If there's somebody I need to be speaking with, let me know. Comment below or DM me. Remember to like, comment, share, and most of all, subscribe to the show right here as we continue to live life with the spectrum. See ya. Bye.